What's happening, guys? Welcome back to episode 5. So now that we have all killed our dragon, there's actually going to be quite a bit to go over. So for killing the dragon, you're going to get about 7,600 souls for that, and then you're also going to get the small scaled flame demon soul. In general, we want to save all these special and unique souls that you're going to gain. However, there are certain ones that serve no purpose. They're not going to get you a weapon, a miracle, or a spell, so you are good to pop these. So the small scaled flame demon soul is, one of those. So we will be able to just grab a clean 10,000 souls for popping this, as it does serve no other purpose. Now, at the end of the last episode, I also showed you guys a farm for healing items, killing the 2 blue-eyed knights right outside of the tower knight boss fight. Because you have your checkpoint right there, it's easy just to kind of rest and really stack up on healing items. Each knight will drop two either half moon grass or full moon grass. So it's really nice. If we can get up to at least 50 heals, that will be enough to carry you guys for quite a while. Obviously, in your own time, anytime you get low, come back here. Feel free to farm these guys up and get plenty of healing so you guys can comfortably make it through the series. Now, faith build, we are going to get regenerative health. We also have a miracle which will heal us, so we should be able to honestly just maintain what the rest of the heals will pick up. However, like I said, getting up to 50 should carry you guys. So with that, we are up to about 24,000 souls. Now, typically we would just rush back to the Nexus, so we're not at risk. However, if you didn't rest with killing the dragon, everybody's dead. Either you killed him or he killed him. Might be a few stragglers, but all in all, it shouldn't be much of a risk going across. So wing spear, really nice spear. It's like the claymore equivalent, so really high quality spear that the knights have been using. Other than that, it's some healing items, souls. You're going to get the spiked shield, which is pretty gnarly. Does blood loss. Instead of having parry, it has shield bash, so you can kind of just bash into enemies and then help proc blood loss on your, whoever you're fighting, whether it be boss or, whoever else. So renowned, you got your spiked shield, we got the spear, unknown warrior, crescent moon. Yeah, so we got 50 on both, looking beautiful. So you could also farm a bunch of crescent moon from the basic soldiers around the 2 blue-eyed knights when you're farming them. So it shouldn't be too bad to get about 50-50. I actually probably have closer to like 60 of each. After 50, they do go to your storage, which is, something we touched on previously. Stone of Ephemeral Eyes, like I said, we really need to stock those up for sure to do our pure Black World tendency events. Then with that, we have made our first full loop. So what we're going to be doing now is jumping to the Nexus, popping all the souls we can, and trying to finish up with our health and stamina, at least for now. Like I said, if we can get to 2020, we're going to be in a really good place. I think we'll be close to that. We might not be, all the way there, but we should be really close, because we're already at like 19 health regardless, so just stamina is a bit low. So like I said, we can pop the small scaled flame demon soul for 10,000. And then we don't want to touch the Iron Demon Soul. This is very much needed for your Platinum Renowned Hero. We're going to pop, so this is up to 34,000. I've probably got about 9,000 for farming healing items, but it's okay, I also bought the Claymore, so most of it went there anyways. So 20, 10, 13, that got us to 19. So moving forward, what we want to do is 20, 10, 20. 10 intelligence is needed so we can use our heal more than once. You should be able to at least use that 2 times. 20 health, 20 stamina will be good enough for, up to mid game. Then once our damage is done, we'll be getting back into it because we're going to want this 30, this 20, and this about 25 to 30 depending on which armor you want to use. Strength and dex are going to meet pretty much all the weapons we want to use for the most part. That's something more specialized. Magic needs to get to 10, but we're just going to farm those levels. Doesn't go with our build. Like I said before, I'd never recommend farming for levels, but this isn't, for our build. We need to get to 10 magic just to buy the spells for our platinum, because you need spells and miracles. And then our faith is, pretty much one level here. Then we're going to get our faith where we want it, and then we'll just kind of jump back to, knock out this stuff. So while we're here, we might as well go on up.
Hello again.
Deal with our storage. So like I say, a bunch of those. We're looking good on heals right now. I keep just one of those on you guys in case you need that weapon durability. It's very important. That's go ahead and put up our boss soul. I don't know why it keeps jumping to the top. Never need upgrade mats. Like I said, always pull some storage when you go to your blacksmith. I got the Knight Shield I dropped. This has excellent fire defense, and as great as our shield is, fire's really weak, so that's going to be nice to just kind of swap to here and there. Don't need bolts. It should be good. Yep. Should be pretty good there. Alright. So now that we have that knocked out, we're actually going to be jumping on back to the Lord's Path. Because if you remember, besides the dragon there guarding a bunch of items, there were still the other dragons towards the end of 1-1. And there was a few items we couldn't get. We actually grabbed most of them, and we did push our luck. I did recommend you guys wait. I went ahead and just kind of grabbed a lot of the stuff there to show you it can be done. But, you know, if that dragon's tail were to hit you, it'd probably kill you. So it's very risky. With that being said, now being in pure white, we don't have to worry about that. So we were talking about this before, you know, 3 bosses without dying in human form, you will get to pure white. So if you go on over here to your tendency, you're going to see that pearlescent, very white, goldish color on the far left. So you are now in pure white, while the other worlds are still in neutral because we have not, you know, done anything there yet. So now that we are in pure white, we're going to go ahead and knock out our white world tendency events after we go for the rest of our loop. There's obviously going to be other things late game when we get further into boletaria, but since you're to the point where you can't go past the Tower Knight anyways, might as well do what we can, right? We're in pure white, let's take advantage of it. Unfortunately, we have a lot of guys to take out, so all the guys that were here when we originally went through the zone, we're gonna have to re-kill them all. Luckily, the Claymore should just be one-shotting everybody. I might just try to use him for our advantage. They should get stuck behind. See if I could just... Oh, I couldn't get to him. Oh, I love it. They can get to me just fine, though, can't they? That seems fair. That seems really fair. Not a big deal, but it's funny. Alright, so you're going to have a few of these guys. Remember, there's like 2 with the spears, which can be kind of shitty to deal with. Also, being in pure white, we are going to be dealing a little bit more damage. I think it's like 10%. So shield up. Thank you. Thank you. Now, as we go back on through, we're at our bridge. So pretty much as soon as we go across the bridge to the right, that's that little section I was talking about, with, you know, where the dragons were before. So now that you're in pure white, the dragons are going to be gone. Well, for one, you killed one of them, obviously. But while you're in pure white, the dragons aren't there. So neither one will be around at this point. Now, if you killed the dragon and went straight here without resting or resetting the world, the other dragon will be here, that big blue one. However, with that being said, he's not supposed to be. It's almost like a glitch. He's only there because you did not reset the world state. So I don't think he could actually hurt you. In fact, I had that happen myself. I didn't rest after that dragon. I came here. I'm like, wait, he's not supposed to be here in pure white. Then his tail like smacked me, but it went right through me. Didn't do any damage because, like I said, he's not supposed to be here, right? It's just that the tendency did not take an effect until you reset the world state. Alrighty. So there's going to be 2 more Spear Bros. We're all impressed. We're all impressed. Alright. Now, after this point, you guys can just pretty much run off the cliff, get yourself killed, so you have to do that run back. However, all the enemies are dead, and as I stated before, Demon Souls isn't like the other Souls games. It's not long enough to where you get these super high level builds. So I'm going to try to hold on to every soul that we possibly can. So the only thing that should be left is the Ring of Great Strength, which will be right here. It's an item you do need for your platinum, but it also will let you put on tankier armor. So you could think of this as like Havel's Ring, where it's going to boost the amount of weight you can carry. So it's not about items. So Herculean Strength Ring, that's about how many items you can carry. This is more about armor and weapons and just general weight. So it is nice, but you don't want to be dependent on it because you're still going to want your Cling Ring, you know, for the most part, always on until you get really high health. And even then, you know, you might always want that on. So if you have something for your armor, that means you cannot use defensive rings we might want or special rings we might not want. As you start getting dependent on it, I mean, once you start wearing armor, the last thing you want to do is lose it, you know? So, I mean, it's cool, but just keep in mind, you might want to let that take the place of your Cling Ring. Something that's, you know, a slot that you're not going to want to swap out. But, you know, replacing Cling Ring, that's a tough call to make, so I'll leave that to you guys. I mean, there are points where you can wear them both. Just know that you're going to have to take it off. We only have 2 slots, unfortunately. We do not get more. So, one of the bigger downfalls of Demon Souls. Oh, I always do that. I warn you guys about that all the time. I say the stairs will kind of switch up on you. from time to time. If you run too quick, you might get caught. Alright, so that puts us at the end. So if you guys want, you could either run to the right and just hop to that fast travel point at the very start of the Gates of Boletaria, or you can just work past the enemies again. There's only a few, but I do believe that, it's worth to mention that there is a, easier way to do it. Kind of walk through for 4. Thank you. Alrighty. So if you would have jumped back over here, guys, like I said, that would be the original bonfire you would have came in. And if you guys remember, I told you there was a gate and a whole little courtyard over here that you could not do until you were in pure white. And just kind of point out that this is how it works. Once you get to pure white or pure black, other things will open up so you can do other areas. Now, when we go through here, at the end, before we get our last few items, there's going to be an invader. So typically, when you kill phantoms, like in pure black, that shifts the world to pure white. Or you kill demons, it shifts the world to pure white. But there are some that are called like reset invaders. So what this is going to do, it's actually going to push you all the way back to neutral. It's going to take you out of pure white. So do keep that in mind. But it's not going to matter. This is the last thing we're going to do. But I do want to bring that up because I thought it was weird. It's like, most of the time when you kill these phantoms, it shifts you to pure white, but there are some that will actually push you back to black, and it's just to reset the world, because keeping you in pure white is just going to make you too powerful, you know what I mean? So it's just a way for them to kind of balance your damage and other things. Like I said, it gets really confusing sometimes, because it's like, oh, kill this phantom so we can go to pure white, and then when you're in pure white you kill one and then it kind of pushes you towards black. You're like, what the fuck? Doesn't make much sense. But that's just how it works. It's just, there are some while you're in pure white, when you kill, it's just a reset, solid reset, puts you back over to neutral. But I do want to call it out, because once we take her out, we're probably going to want to go grab a level. Then you're going to be like, well, fuck, we're not in pure white anymore. However, even with that, you're still able to access this area. So you'll see what I mean as we go through. Now, make sure you grab that crystal lizard first, guys. These fuckers will pile up on you. Thank you. A lot of grass. So pretty much when you're in pure white, you're going to have, like, these red phantom enemies. A little bit stronger. Happens more in pure black. That's typically where stronger enemies will come from, but happens here too. So for this next fight, we're going to actually go to the Crescent Falchion. We want something faster where we can just really pump out damage. This invader is going to be using a big great axe. She's slow and sluggish. She's faster than you might think, but it's a big great axe. So just hold up your shield, aggro her, then pull her back. So just hold up your shield, let her kind of bounce off, and you can stun lock her somewhat. She's got more reach than you might expect as well, guys. Now maintain that stamina. Like I said, you got more reach than you might expect. Not good. If you start landing on hits, she won't be able to get her attacks off. And sometimes when you backstab, it's so hard to line up because it's so quick at times. Then she also does not like you healing. Yeah, she doesn't really give you the space. If you really need to get a heal, guys, just run up those stairs. She'll follow you, but you should be able to get enough distance to actually get a heal off, hopefully. And we got that blood loss on her. Like I said, it's kind of lackluster in Demon Souls. It's 2 HP a second, which does add up. Fact of the matter is, in comparison to other games, it's not too crazy. But it does help put her down. Like, we can probably hit her one more time. Then just let that blood loss finish her off. Just to show it does work. It just takes forever. Maybe not. There it is. So I tried showing it off. I mean, it will. It just depends. Her health is already so low. Didn't finish. I mean, it's 2 HP a sec. It takes a minute. You know what I mean? It takes a minute. So, taking her out, you're going to go ahead and get her set. Now, like I said, we're at 5,800. So what we're gonna do is once you killed her, that did put you in neutral. So like I said, you know, you're out of pure white. However, you're still gonna have access to this, so I wouldn't worry about it because what we're gonna do is a little bit of a suicide type deal. There's gonna be a trick drop for colorless demon soul. Like I said before, that's how you upgrade those boss weapons, those special weapons. So there's only 10 in the game. We want to make sure we get every single one. But since it is a little bit of a trick drop, you're probably gonna get killed. In fact, I think there's really no way out. We have to drop on like a little ledge, and there's no way to really get off that ledge besides killing yourself. So what we're going to do is we're going to go grab our stuff. But you're going to notice you were no longer in pure white. You were back to neutral. So killing her did push you 3 stages towards pure black. And that's what I told you guys before. It's 3 up, 3 down. So you start neutral. 3 bosses without dying will get you to pure white. 3 deaths in human form will get you to pure black from neutral, at least. So if you're pure white, that means you have to do, you know, 6. So it's just things you'll just kind of learn as you guys go through. So either way, let's go ahead and pop all what we got. Which is still in World 1, so the souls aren't worth the most. We already had like fucking, what was it? 5,000, so we only got like 2,000 there. Either way, 20, 10, 20. So at this point, we're just going to be pumping faith for, you know, foreseeable future. So either way, guys, back to Gates of Boletaria. Like I said, even though we're not in pure white, I guess because the gate already opened, it's, you know, it's still open. That's my only, you know, my only guess. Because it's something I had to check in my notes too. I'm like, damn, because I don't want to put people at risk of a level when we can't grab that many levels in the game period. I mean, you'll get to like level 90 or something, but you're not going to get to 125, 150 or anything like that. But for whatever reason, all the world tendency events are still here. The Lizard, the Red Phantoms, they're still here too. So it's kind of goofy, but obviously I did, you know, I make sure we did testing to line up everything the way we, you know, the way we want it to be. So there's nothing to worry about. Now the Phantom's not going to come back. It's just these D-bags. In fact, to that end, we're probably good just to use this for Claymore again. Thank you. Oh, what a waste. I shouldn't have hit a second one. We're about to get killed anyway. We're still at 1,500 souls, but losing 1,500 and then losing 7,000, that's different, right? It's a completely different thing. Good day. So, start replacing some of the more minor healing items. So, Broken Sword doesn't seem that great. There's definitely more than meets the eye. We'll cover later. Yeah, it doesn't seem that great right now for sure. Just, no, you might want to hold on to one of those. Alright, so going back in, like I said, the invader's gone, and we can go for all of our items. So there is going to be a little bit of a trick drop. However, we're going to do that last. We're going to go all the way down. Then we're going to come back up for the drop. Because, like I said, there's really no way to recover from that. It's right there. It's that little ledge there. But if you notice, once you get that item, if you drop, you're probably just going to die, you know, from that drop itself. So all the way down here is a really good set of armor and a shield. It's probably one of the more heavy ones of the game. If you want to pull it off with our build, probably have to go to 40 endurance. Which, you know, it's going to hurt us elsewhere, but, you know, something you could do, depending on which build you're doing. I mean, we could definitely pull it off, but we might want to pump up intelligence for more mana, or faith for more damage, or, you know, there's other things we might want to do. But it's very, it's got that faith look to it. It's very nice, clean, gold armor, really beefy paladin type look. So it goes with our build very well. But like I said, there might be other things we want to do. So when we get towards the end game, we'll go after, you know, our armor stuff then. Alright, so right here, this is really touchy. You guys probably done similar things like this in, you know, a game like Elden Ring, but the ledges are super touchy in Demon Souls, so just walk straight up. Just line up with your beam, take it slow. You cannot turn at all. Now this is even harder because the way you're lined up, so when you start moving here, whew, that was close. And then like I said, if you try to drop, you're dead. You know, there's just no way out of it. Even if you went all the way down to the other side, the drop's even bigger, and you drop into water, which is automatic kill. So there's nothing you can do about your souls. You know what I mean? Just gonna lose them. But either way, with that, we are all wrapped up. We got the colorless demon soul. That's our first two upgrades for whatever boss weapon we want to use or unique weapon. Your weapon does go up to +5, but we're not going to get our weapon for a long time. Just how the game works, unless we want to run ahead out of our way and run past a bunch of shit to get it, and that doesn't seem very fair or the right way to do things, right? So it's not going to come for a bit, but by the time we get it, we should be able to max it out immediately. So it'll be pretty nice, and then we'll have it for the end game. Along the way, we're going to have other really good weapons. We'll be able to make like a Faith Claymore where we get magic damage with every single hit and health regeneration. So there's going to be other stuff we could do. However, the main weapon that we want to use for the end game, we're just not going to have for a bit. Either way, guys, with that, we are wrapped up with World 1-1 and 1-2. Now, if you guys remember, after the Tower Knight, you had that fog. It said until you kill an Archdemon, you cannot progress. So until you kill the last boss of any world, you have to fully complete at least one world. You won't be able to progress there. So one is going to be done for foreseeable future. So from this point, we're going to do 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, and then we're just going to push through World 2 in completion. Then we'll be able to, knock the next one out World 1 and just kind of go through them and start finishing stuff up from there. So either way, we're going to wrap up here. Y'all stay tuned, and we will catch you back here shortly.